So we are discussing about the work process administration part, right? SAP work process administration. So these are the some basic concept here, work process, right? So work process admin part. So work process means we have so dialog, update, MQ, background, message server, gateway, spool, right? They are the seven work process in SAP systems here. We have the seven work process in SAP systems here. So as soon as you log into the SAP system, respective work process will carry out the your work here. So up to background, B means background work process. We discussed the jobs creation, job scheduling, scheduling the jobs, creation of the background jobs. So if you want to cancel, if you want to change the schedule, so those things we discussed, right? So those are the background jobs here. Those are the background jobs also. In the background jobs itself, those are the when we create the jobs, when we create the jobs means it will run the programs or reports automatically as per the schedule without any user interaction. The work will be finished, the task will be executed without any user or manual intervention. So there are the two types of jobs are available here. There are the two types of jobs. Two types of jobs are available. So one is the standard background jobs. Standard the background jobs are available. The second one is the user jobs. User jobs means which we will schedule it. We will schedule it here. Means user standard jobs means which will come as part of the installation. Which will come as part of the installation. Those are called the standard background jobs. So which those jobs will do the some cleanup activities. Some cleanup activities in the system here. So user jobs means those standard jobs are user jobs. So both are will execute the programs, reports in the system, right? Both actions are same, but only thing is standard jobs means it's a SAP jobs. It's a SAP star jobs, which will come as part of the installation that will be executed. User jobs means that we have to schedule it manually as per our requirement here, right? So any jobs, so just we have to go to the SM36 here. We have to create the jobs and we have to schedule it here. Standard jobs, there is a separate tab here. You can see here standard jobs here. If you go to the standard jobs here, here you can see you can see these are the standard jobs here. These are the standard jobs here. So these jobs will run the as per the scheduled. As per the schedule, these jobs will complete the work here. So what is these jobs for? What exactly it will do here? You can see each job information here. So there is a SAP underscore. All the SAP standard jobs starts with the SAP underscore. SAP underscore here. So which means it's kind of reorg underscore above dump, which means it will delete the old above dumps. Batch inputs, it will delete the old batch inputs. This is the jobs, which will delete the old job logs. So old job statistics are found job logs. So it will do the some cleanup activities here. To schedule all those things here, just click on the default scheduling here. So then the jobs should run the which user. Then you need to define the user. So then click on the OK button here so that all the jobs are released status here. So then if you go to the SM37, just type the SAP star, then just click on the execute button, see what's happening here. See here, these jobs are released here. These jobs are released here. This is the hourly job. Hourly, every hour the job will finish. This is also hourly job here. So then if you see this one, this is also hourly job here, right? So these are the scheduled by, these are the there in SAP. Just we released it here. Just we released it here. These are the jobs here. You can see it here. These are the jobs are available in the systems here, right? So these are the standard jobs. So which will come from SM36, SM36 here, which will do some cleanup activities, in the system. Some cleanup means deletion of the old jobs, dumps, spool, some cleanup, some table level, some cleanup activities will be performed in the system. Otherwise, what will happen? The data will be increased in the system. The data will be increased in the system. These jobs are not permanently required in the database level, table level. It's not permanently required. So what we can do? We can delete those jobs. So we can, using these jobs, some configurations, some old logs which are not required, we can delete it as per the recommendation, SAP recommendation. That's why we have the two types of jobs are available in the systems. This we have to schedule it. SM37, we have to schedule the jobs 36. This is also we can release it here. So this already available, just you have to release it. Go to the standard jobs, you have to release it here. User jobs, manually we have to schedule it and assign that time, we can release it here, right? These are the background jobs concept here, right? So the next one is the message server here, message server concept here, right? So message server concept, message server means SM12 is the transaction code for the message server here. So what the message server will do, will
Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. SM12 is for the NQ server, right?
Oh,
SMMS, I think.
yes. SMMS, yeah. SMMS is the message server here. Right. Yeah. So message server, SMMS. MS means message server here, which will perform the, so logon load balancing activity, which will perform the, logon load balancing activities here, So which means, so any application server, if you have the more than one application server, then so the message server, if you just, we can connect via application server, we can connect via ASS instance, then that time message server will perform the logon load balancing activity, which means the load distribution activities will be performed by the message server. The message server will be performed. Suppose you have he is the user, then you have the two application servers are available here. Then here is the ASS instance. This is the application server. This is the application server instance. You have the two application servers. Then when you are connecting from your logon pad from here to your ASS instance, then your message server is there here. Then message server will distribute the load to the among the application server. The load will be distributed here. That is called the SMMS. SMMS here, right? So here we are directly connecting through the, not the application server, specific application server. So via ASS instance we are connecting here. That time that will work more than two servers are there. That time it will work here. You have the more than one application server is there. So then you have the two application servers are there. So that time connecting from message server is the recommended. Message server is the recommended, means ASS instance, connecting from the ASS, which means group server selection. That time it will do the load balancing activities. Here. So here message server will check the whether which application servers has less load. Then it will assign the workload to the other application servers here. So message server will work based upon the groups. Message server will work based upon the logon groups here. Logon groups means here. So logon groups means here in SMLG transaction code. So we have to create the logon groups here. Logon groups we can create it here. Here we can check the response time of the app server also here. Response time of the app server here we can check it out here in SMLG transaction code, which means message server will work based upon the groups, here. So if you go to the SMLG transaction code, here you can see so lot of groups are available here. So if you have the more than application servers are there, so then here, So based upon the group which you are connecting, this group is allocated to the which application server, then so your request will be forwarded to the multiple application servers. Depends upon the so group and the application server depends upon the load. Your request will be forwarded to the respective app server, respective application server. The request will be forwarded here. Request will be forwarded here. So that is what we need to so check it out here. Okay, so that is what we need to check here, right? So here you can see we have only one application server. That's why you can see the status is the active here. If you install the one more application server, what will happen? So if you connect from the message server, the load will be distributed. If you connect from the one more application server, but ASCS is only one, right? So here through ASCS, you can connect it. Then this ASCS work based upon the groups, the Logon groups here. This is the Logon groups here, which you connect it here. Okay, so this is based upon the groups here. Sir, how can we install the then additional application servers here? Why? Because we don't have the additional application server now, right? We don't have any additional application server now. Now, how can we install the additional application server here? So, additional application server we have to install using the SWPM tool only. Using the SWPM tool, we have to add the using the SWPM tool. So, we have to add the new app server. We have to add the new application server. We have to add it here. New application servers, we have to add it. So that one more application server you will get. So based on that, you will get the one more application server. So it will be perform the load balancing. It will perform the load balancing activities here. If you have the one application server, if that is down, then you cannot log in, right? So we have to install the additional application servers here. So how to install it? Using the SAP SWPM is the tool. Using that tool, we can install the additional application servers. We can install it here, right? Then if you install the one more application server, how we have that 10_10_20, then one more application server will come into the picture so that we can configure the Logon groups. We can configure the Logon groups. Then we can install it here. We can configure the Logon groups here. We can do the installation here. That is what we can do here. Okay, that is the NetWeaver additional application servers here. So here the message server, what it will do, load balancing. If you have the multiple application server, if you have the multiple application servers, message server will perform the load balancing activities. Message server will perform the load balancing activities here, right? So based on that, so suppose if this application server having the less load, then your request will be routed to this application server. If it is having to the load to the here, then your request will be forwarded to this load here. So here both the way, which is the very less load, your request will be prioritized. Then this will be moved to the respective application servers here, right? To get this type of experience, we need to add the new application servers, right? So in this case, SMLG is the transaction code. Here we can create the group and the response times of the application server. We can check it out, which application server having the response time, very high response time, so free. So how many users are logged in, all the information we can find out here. So message server, what it will do, based upon the group which you create in the SMLG, based on that, it will route the request to the particular application servers here, right? There is a dependency, right? In the message server will work based upon the SMLG Logon groups here, right? In the Logon groups, we have to create it here. So based upon the group, message server will request. But if you want to one more application server, then this SMLG is a dependency on the SWPM tool. We have to add the additional application server. Then how to add the additional application server means, so I will show you. If you go to the SWPM tool, okay, so let's go into the SWPM tool here.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. SMLG is mandatory to, means Logon group is mandatory to the run the message server?
Yes, mandatory. Without that one, we cannot log in from a browser. You cannot log in from the SAP Logon pad. Suppose example, you can see it here. When you are configuring the SAP Logon pad, go to the connection. So here you see, so custom application server. Custom application server, there is no logon group concept in anything. Directly SID, you can give it instance number application server, right? If you go to the group server selection, means message server selection, then you have to provide the SID group server, logon group server and everything. You have to message server details and a group server you have to provide it. Then definitely the group server is required, right? That's why the group server is required, which means this is the SMLG field, which will form the SMLG. Whatever
So,
you.
okay. In the sense, sir, if we have more than one application server, at the time we need to log into the system from the group server only. Right, sir?
Right.
Okay.
This is the one. So that's why message server will perform the load balancing activity if you have the more than. So go to the group server selection, then just assign the NWD, SID, NWD. So then, so here message server details, SAP Windows 2 : so here suppose like SMMS. Go to the SMMS transaction code. Here it will show the message server details and everything here. So here you can see 21 is the instance number here. 21 is the instance number here. Here message server instance number you have to give it here. Instance number we have to give it here. Means so 3 2 21 means 332 instance number you have to give it here. So 3621, right? You can see the groups are there now. 36 instance number, message server port number. So here host name : port number you have to give it here. Then the group will come. Suppose public users. Then so if you select the public users, public group, this public group is assigned to the how many servers here? SMLG. So here the public is selected to the only one, right? 2 servers, but one is already inactive. This is not there. So this public group is assigned to the 2 application servers, _10 _20, instance number 10, instance number 20. So this is there for two application servers. So based on that new application, so based on that, your message server will pass the request to the one more application server here. One more application server, it will pass the information. But the 10 application server is not there here. 10 application server not there here. So that's why you can see the 10. Now I deleted the 10 application server. You have only 20 is there here, right? So this public group is assigned to the only one application server here. Then so your request will be forwarded to the only one application server here. So you are connected to the logon groups here, public group now. So when you click it here, immediately the message server will take the responsibility, will assign to the respective application server related dispatcher. It will assign it here. Then from here, the application server take care of the responsibility. It will carry out the work. But if you connecting from the message server will take the request, will perform the distribution, load distribution, will assign to the application server. So the display work, it will assign to the application server here. This way, your request will be routed to the multiple application server. So there is no load. Your message server will perform the load balancing. So let's say server load will be performed the load balancing based upon the SMLG groups. The groups which you create in the SMLG, either any one of the group you need to select it, then you need to save it. So based upon the group, it will forward the request message server. That is what we need to check it out here. So now how to add the additional application servers here then? So now let's talk about the additional application servers here. So SWPM tool. SWPM tool is not only installation of the so the new installation of the SAP application servers, SAP system. So we can also add the new app servers. We can also uninstall the existing application, existing SAP systems also. We can also install the existing SAP systems, not only adding the new app servers, we can also do the uninstallation of the existing app servers. So new installations. So some other usage is there, export, import. So many things are there with the SWPM tool. Not only just installation, we can also uninstall. We can also rename the SID. So during the installation, you have given the NWD. I want to change it to the different naming convention now, later. Then we can possible without uninstallation, the existing one, we can rename it here. That is what we can do using the SWPM tool here. Okay. So now let's log into the system now. You can see it here, right? So we can go to the here. What I will do the, so yeah, I will add the new app server here, new application server. I will add it here. So for this one, we already see multiple installations are there. We don't require ND4. You can these many systems are not required. Maybe if you, while doing the installation, if you cut it out during the, so during the review parameter section, we won't get this many servers, and it we won't get. So what I'm doing, I am not required. I'm going to stop it ND4. You use NWD for everybody. Use the NWD. Okay. So NWD. Don't touch ECD system. Only you can use NWD for now. Or you have the other systems also I given, right? ECD, ECP systems. So those systems you can use it. You will get the some free space here. Then go to the softwares here, SAP softwares. Here we have the SWPM tool. Then launch the SWPM tool here. Because for installing the new additional application server, so you need the SWPM and the kernels are required here. Only SWPM and kernels are required. That's it. You don't need anything. All the full software is not required. Full softwares means exports, kernels, DB client, host agent, these all are not required. Just so SWPM kernels are required here. Okay, I got the SAP screen here pop up. Then I'm going to the this one, taking the new screen here. Okay, here normally for installation we will go to the respective folders, right? Either NetWeaver 7.5 is the ECC, then you can go to the business suite systems, either ECC, CRM, SRM. We will go ahead and we will select it here. For so adding the new application server, go to the generic options, right? Then go to the message server. So we can also do the uninstallation, right? We can also do the uninstallation. So as I mentioned, we can also do the uninstallation or additional application server, which means go to the same NetWeaver 7.5 here, right? Database, you can select it here. So then installation, when you do the installation, normally we will choose the SAP application server ABAP, right? SAP application server ABAP. In the bottom of the step here, you can see the below, there is a additional SAP system installation. Additional SAP system installation here means adding the new SAP instances, adding the, either if you want to include any queue replication server, you want additional application server, you want to split off ASS instance from the existing application server to different server, so we can do that one. As of now, what we have, so the primary application server, you have the PAS, primary message server, and NQ server, ASCS instance, and the primary application servers also available in here. Primary application server also available in the same host, from SAP Windows to SAP Windows to same host it is available. So I want to split this one, means I don't want to this one, I want to move this to the another host here. Then we can also do that one. We can also perform that one here, right? That is the, so that is also we can perform it. So if you want to add additional application server, AAS, additional application server, then in this case, go to the respective folder. Which one? Yours is the NetWeaver 7.5. Then go to the NetWeaver 7.5. If it is the ECC, then what you have to do, go to the ECC. Then ECC EHP8. Then which database? SQL Server database or another database. Go to the installation. Go to the additional SAP system installation. Simple. So every folder you have the option like additional SAP instances. Additional SAP instances, you have the option. Any folder if you go. Any folder means any system, if you click it out, you have the option here. You can go to the here, you can install the additional app servers here. You can install the additional app servers here, NetWeaver 7.5. So installation, additional application server above, then additional SAP instances here. Just click the additional SAP instances here, then it will ask the profiles, means SAP system, which SID I want to install, under the which system, under the which SAP SID I want to install the new application server, I want to install it. That will ask the question. Now we need to select the profile, then just immediately within maybe minutes, new application server will be installed here. New server will be installed here. I will show you here. So it won't impact the existing system. Existing system can run same as like this here. Only new app server. Now 20 is there. Only one application server is there now, right? In the NWD, we have only one application server. This is the application server, right? Application server means where we have the dispatcher and SAP work process are available. That is called the work application server. ASCS instance means where we have the message server, NQ server is there. That is the ASCS instance here. ASCS instance here, right? So that is the one here, right? So now there is a one more instance will come. By default, you will get the one ASCS instance, one application server. Now you will get the one more application server, that is called the different application server. You will get now different application server. Same screens you will get, but it won't ask the much softwares, only SWPM. Then maybe sometimes it is asked the kernel, or sometimes it will ask the profile directory. Then we can proceed with the installation here. That is what will happen here now. So it's here, it is collecting the information about the installed systems here. What are the systems are installed? So it is collecting the information. Based on that, so it will go ahead. If you select the ECD, then under the ECD, one more application server will be installed. If you select the ND4, under the ND4, one more application server will be installed. If you select the NWD, then one more application server will be installed here. So like this, based on that, new application server will be installed in this case here, right? So I stopped it, then one more person is started the ND4. I will completely rename the ND4, only use the NWD for now. Right? So now you can see it is asking the profile directory here. So profile directory means you can choose the, so where you are going to install the new app server, additional application server, where you are going to add it here. Suppose like NWD or ECD, or which system you are going to add the new app server. So right. So in the NWD, you are going to add the new app server, right? So then you can select the NWD, select OK button here, right? So that, so under the NWD folder here, one more application server will come into the picture. One more application server will come here. One more application server will come here. Click on the next button. So password, the password we have to provide it here. What is the password for this application server? So same SAP star DDIC purpose. So passwords we have to re-enter. DB is only one, and here the database is only one. ASCS is only one, but only it is adding the, as of now we have installed this one, right? So this is the your presentation layer, right? This is the presentation layer, this is the application layer, this is the database layer. So this is our architecture, right? SAP architecture, 3-tier architecture. So this box is not there now. So what we are doing, there is a load is heavily happening to then the client, the customer decided to install the new application server. So that one more application server we are going to add it, which means it will use the same SID, but new application server means new dispatcher. So new dialog work process, all will come here. New will come here. So that's why. We can also uninstall it. We can also do the uninstallation here, right? So you can see, so operation cannot be performed. So operation cannot be performed due to this operation cannot be complete. There is a error. Why? Because could not read the profile path of the user. Could not read the profile path here. Profile path means whatever the profile path we have chosen, right? See users SAP, then so NWD, right? So this profile path in the sys folder, there is a profile directory here. So system unable to read this one here, unable to read this one here. So it's unable to read it. Maybe due to the permission issue or something, it is unable to read it here. Now I'm going to provide the full permissions here. I'm going to read the everyone is there full permission here. So errors. So in case of the folders does not have enough permissions, so or anything, then we may face this type of issue. See here, could not read the profile path. Path could not be able to read it here. It's unable to read it here. So here, go to the edit mode. Here I'm just adding the ECD. I logged in with actually SAD ADM. In another SAD ADM, I logged in that user. So I'm doing this one. That's why it's giving the error message now here. So what I'm doing, I'm just using the different user. I'm adding the user into this folder list, security list here, giving the permission, full permission here. So in case if you get this type of issues, what we have to do, so it's a operation cannot be completed. Why? Because could not read the profile path of the user. So just I'm setting the different, I'm setting the user here, right? So then click on the OK button. Then let's try to do. So log files, logs, same log files, you can refer it here. Then SAP INST, you can see the SAP INST here. It's creating the file, control file was executed. So log file could not read the profile path of the user here, could not read the profile path of the user here. So which means there is a permission issue when I am doing from this user here, right? So which means I have not selected the valid user, or I am not doing the from, I'm using the different user here. So just to cancel it here. Why? Because there is a permission issue for this user. So we need to start from the valid user here. Which user is valid? So we need to start from that valid user here. Go to the SWPM tool. Again, go to the SWPM tool. Then just click on the launch SAP INST. Launch the SAP INST here. So this is for the additional application server or installation or uninstallation, anything rename. So these are the SWPM options here. So you can use the anything here. Okay, same tier 7.5 SQL Server database installation, but instead of application server above means new installation. So I don't want a new installation. I want to just add the additional application servers here, right? With valid user I am doing here. Do you want to start the new run or you want to continue with the existing one? So the existing one means where we stopped it will continue from, so that option. So here we have the, do you want to continue with the existing option? Existing option means in previously we have stopped in middle, right? In middle we stopped, so it will continue from that option. If you don't choose that option, if you choose the new, it will create the fresh one we can give it, means starting of the inputs we have to give it. So you already given the in middle of the installation you have given, then from that two it will continue, it will resume from where you stopped it, right? It will continue from there. This is for the adding the, so new app servers here. So for rename also it's the same procedure as WPM screen. Uninstallation also same procedure here, right? So just to select the new. The processing, how much time it is taking, very slow. So profile directory. So then here you can choose the NWD. Just click on the next button. Why? Because for NWD system, we are going to add the new app server. So select the NWD. Okay, just click on the next screen. So password. is a error for this user also. You can see there is a error here. The operation could not be read. Could not read the profile path of the user from the registry. So there is a error for this user as well here. So let's check what is that error. So these are the log files you can see. So when you are doing the installation or anything activity for the SWPM tool, so they are the log files here. So one is the SAPINST.log file. Then second one is the SAPINST_dev.log file. So these are the log files are available here. These are the log files are available here. So these log files we need to look. These log files we need to look this log files here. What exactly happening with the my system here? So why? So cannot find the log template. Cannot find. So you can see cannot find the template file. So it is reading the some program files, SAPINST, some data. It is trying to read it here, right? So here we will get the some clues what's happening with the our system, why there is a error. So based on this, we can fix the issues here. Now we can see as per the error message. So it's trying to add the new app server, but it could not read the profile path of the user. So this is the registry value at operating system level, right? Registry value. So now we need to check permissions. Profile path means the mainly is the permissions here. So it is taking care of the SAP Windows 1. So Windows 2. So in this path, it is checking this one. Then NWD, it is looking here. NWD it is looking. This is the path of the folder here. So here NWD. Let's check here NWD. Okay, here share is there here. Network share. Everybody, everyone. Read and write execute. Read and write means it will read the data, it will execute the data also here, means execute permissions also. So that's what I shared it here. So there is a option to cancel, but we can also do the retry option. But let's see. So once the permission is given, let's see. Basically what we are trying to do here is we are adding the new app server for the load balancing purpose to test the load balancing activities and everything. Under this 2021 one more application server will come, so that one ASCS instance, two app servers. Then how the load balancing will happen. So to test that functionality, so we are using this one. So once we have the additional application server added, then in the Logon pad we can create the entry through ASCS instance. When you are connecting from the ASCS instance, you have to use the group server selection. Then message server will break, message server will work on based upon the Logon groups here. When you are connecting from the single application server, so then that is called the custom application server, direct instance number of the your application server 2020. Then you are using the SAP Windows to application server Windows. So that is what we are using here. So change the settings. There is a permission issue. Okay, it is done. It is done. So let's check the security. It's fully given. Everybody, every user has full control of these folders here. Okay, OS level permission I have given. We normally in this case we can contact the our operating system team so that they can take care of the next step here. But let's see whether it will work or not. An error detected, user decided to retry the current step. But same error, I guess. Could not read the profile path. We have the same error again. So somewhere this operation completed. Yeah, it's the same error again. So I think it's not the issue. Maybe there is a one upgrade process running on the same host. On the same host, one upgrade process is running. So that maybe locked the registry, I guess. That may be locked the registry that is going to complete. Maybe that may be locked the registry. So that's the reason. So this is not getting processed as WPM tool. Okay. So what we can do, we'll wait for some time. I will wait for some time. Then I will retry it once this will complete. This will complete in 1 hour or so. Once this is completed, then we can progress these steps. I can reprocess these steps. Okay. So by this class time tomorrow, we have the new application server will be ready. We can install the new one. Okay. So that's what we can do it. So we'll wait for some time and let's see. So for adding the application server, then once it is done, then new application server will come into the SMLG list. SMLG in SMLG is the Logon groups creation. The new application server will come into the picture here, new here. In this picture, it will come to the here. Then once it is coming to the here, then we can create the groups already there. Creation of the group, just click on the create the group. Then we can create the any one of the group, you can create it here. So you can add the your new application server. One more application server will come. You can add the new application server into the list. New application server will come into the list. We can come into the here. So that when you are configuring through SMLG the message server group, it will ask the logon groups. So from which group you want to log in here? Which group you want to log in? Public, new. So which group? So you can select the whatever the group you want to select it. Then message server details you have to give it. Then click on the OK button so that when you are logging from the SAP, when you are logging from the browser, so that message server will route the request to the any one of the application server. Anyone, either this application server or this application server here, it will route the request here. So that functionality will test it. Once the new application server is added, we'll test that functionality as well. Okay. So that's what for today. We'll wait for until completion of this one. This maybe take an hour or so. Once completed, then we can resume this activity. This activity we will resume it so that it will complete it. New app server will be added. Then we can perform the next set of activities. Okay. Meanwhile, what you can do, you can perform the background jobs. Background jobs are very important. Meanwhile, you can test the background jobs, SM36, then 37. This is the one of the very important activity. So in the SAP, as of now, what we discussed in that one, so the background job information is very important here. Background jobs are the very important here. So that is the very important step, background jobs. So please concentrate only on this topic, not the installation. Still installation people are doing. So don't do that one. Just to concentrate on the background jobs and remaining work process, above dumps and all those things. Okay.